Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. This is going to be essentially kind of a show and tell video of some things that I bought at a recent antique mall sidewalk sale. And as a finale, a grand finale, a parcel that I got from Uppercase. And if you're unfamiliar with those publications, well, you're in for a treat. All I've done is break the seal on the parcel. I have not unwrapped it yet. So let's get to it. This is the second year in a row that I've been to this sidewalk sale with my daughter and her man. And because the weather was, I think, on the verge of being inclement. It had rained overnight. I'm sure that when the vendors woke up in the morning and were trying to decide what should I take, they were fearing what the weather might do. And of course, nothing is improved by rain on it. So anyway, I would say overall slim pickings. However, we did also learn from one of the vendors that this is about a 4 times a year event. So, I think as long as they're game, I would continue to go to it. Anyway, enough about that. So I just this time I thought, well, I'll just walk through it. Allegedly, there were 100 vendors. Thought, well, let me just walk around and, not buy something at the very first place and then find out it's cheaper, 14 vendors down. This is a vintage card, and I thought it was kind of cute. Number one, it had a baby on it, and it's one of those that opens up like so. So I'll probably just add this. I'm thinking more like, who knows? This moment in time, I think that it makes more sense for me to put something like this. Is it actually about a baby? I guess so. Put it with baby stuff as opposed to vintage card stuff. So there's that. This was a cute little cabinet card. It does have a decorative image on the back, so I thought that was worth getting, even though the corner is mangled. This was probably not so great, and I'm not going to waste much of your time. It's just a packet of what they call vintage bookmarks. Well, yeah, I guess if you want to call it, well, I suppose the 80s is vintage. Nothing too exciting here. This is perhaps the best one. It looks like it's actually a reproduction of somebody's watercolor from 1981. Anyway, so there's that. This was a vintage card, and I thought it was different in that there were the 2 distinct panels that could easily become pockets. Get well. I didn't pay $1.50. Okay, then there were some books. Now, I don't know if this was good or not. I mean, sometimes I guess when I'm not, it totally, if my pulse isn't racing, then maybe a person should just walk on by. These all came from the same booth. Hallmark keepsake ornaments. And you think, oh, that must be a lot of good fussy cutting in there. Well, they are micro images. I guess it's actually a way for a person to keep track of their collection. How much so if we bought Ludwig the musician, that's number 7, you enter the price paid there, and I guess keep a running total. Pencil totals, off, what a person has invested. Holy cow. Value $22. This is $19.99. I don't know really how this works. However, I guess why I thought it might have some redeeming quality is because a person could easily cut off the description and have like a million. Okay, what would be smaller than an inchy? So now, oh, you know what? I guess it would have helped to pay attention to the fact that this is all Christmas. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. Maybe this will get listed in one of my shops. I don't know. Probably second guessing that. Okay, the executive secretary's complete portfolio of letters. You see the exterior like this and you think, holy cow, that's going to be great. Bureau of Business Practice, Waterford, Connecticut. I don't know if I found it. Oh yeah, 62. Now, you know, these plastic coil kind of books, they really don't ever flip very well. No illustrations, really, but kind of cool paper and, of course, sample letters and that kind of stuff. So I thought it was probably worth the price I paid. Okay, then this one I liked because it is landscape. I didn't even look at what the cover is like. It was just regular. I mean, you know, plain. But it is landscape. And mostly, from what I remember, black and white images. Now, I could not... It's funny, they go through the whole thing, you know, song and dance about all of this, but they don't put a year, unless I'm going totally blind. So, who knows? I did think there were some cool images in here. And of course, I think there's also value in getting landscape covers every so often. So, you know, the pages that are colored are pretty. Oh, you'd think they would have at least done both sides. This is cool. Those could almost be like a faux washi tape. These could be journaling cards in a stitchery type journal. That's kind of cool. Oh, I see a tomato coming up. That looks, what, 70s? And, oh yeah, this is kind of, I didn't see these. So, you know, it's one of those things that will get added to the collection of things that need some further attention. This is Cruel. And that is that. Okay. Singer Home Decoration Guide. Now, I don't know. It says how to make drapery slip covers and other fabric furnishings, and the cost was 25 cents. Oh, that's pretty good. Copyright 1940 and 43. I think this would be a traditional... It was right the first time. 9.5 by 7 3/4. Oh, I didn't realize there was a color centerfold. So again, typical yardage type page, diagrams, you know, sort of with pattern pieces. Creamy, like a kind of a buttery yellow, beigey yellow pages. And, you know, and so on and so on. Okay, so here we've got, these are cool. That would be good to fussy cut, and even the color wheel. Yeah, those fabric swatches. Color choosing chart. If your floor covering is burgundy, use walls of warm gray with pinkish cast or pale clear yellow. Use upholstery of, use draperies of, use accents of, and then it gives you options. I've had burgundy walls back in the day. It is, well, you know, eventually you learn the hard way that you need a tinted primer. And if you have a tinted primer, it is still probably 3 or 4 coats of paint to get the full coverage, which is so counterintuitive when you think that a white paint will cover. Well, you can get a good coverage with white paint, in 2 coats. Anyway, Christmas in the West by Hugh A. Dempsey. I think this is almost exclusively black and white, but there were some cute images. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I guess I got a little excited about Christmas when I saw Carol's, Secret Santa swap, and all the good, and I certainly didn't watch every video, of all the participants. It seemed like, boy, people are really into Christmas, even in the throes of summer. So who knows, maybe I'll catch the bug and be inclined to do a Christmas journal or 2. I think I have some still in the Maker's Market that I didn't sell last year. So I was thinking about that, and I wanted to mention it, that just like emerging artists, like fine artists, painters, and so on, sometimes I think it is a word to the wise to buy people's, if you're kind of like a particular person's style or aesthetic or whatever, something is drawing you to that person's work, it would be it's good advice to buy a piece of their work, whatever you can afford, in the early stages of their career. And then as that person's career progresses and their work appreciates in value, you might get priced out of the market. So I know that there are some people's journals out there that I will never afford. And, that's just a fact of life. Not crying myself to sleep over it or anything. But I also know that sometimes if you buy something that you like early on in a person's career, you at least have a piece of that person's, like you recognized a talent that was going to appreciate, and you jumped in on the ground floor. That's what I'm trying to spit out here. I got these linens. Now this is cross stitch. These, this is brown and sort of, orangey. There are 2 colors there, actually. I don't know the ethnicity of it. This would not be traditional Ukrainian colors, but it is handwork and it's in great condition, so why would I not grab it? And obviously that orangey border would go well in upcoming projects. I keep talking about rust and so on. This is an applique type little, that's a long thread. Applique kind of piece. It's got a really cute crocheted border on it. The shape of it is different. So, what is going on here? I can probably cut that there, and that there, and that will pull out. Yeah, well, I guess I don't need to do this with you watching. Anyway, I should actually throw these things in the next load of laundry. I just thought it was kind of cute. And because it's got a front and back design, it would, let's see what the size is. Let's get a better ruler, for heaven's sakes. Something that you can actually see the numbers on. Jeez, I'm having some issues here. Okay, this is basically folded in half. At the widest point, it's 8 1/4, which of course is too wide for the average journal, but a person could certainly turn this in if it was really quite a skinny journal, maybe tall and skinny. This would cover the, what do you call it? The spine. The wraparound part could be a tuck spot on the inside, or maybe you split the difference there and let half that tulip be on that side. So, you know, it's always good to try to see beyond the obvious. Or, worst case scenario, remove the trim. That looks like it would be pretty easy. That almost looks like it was just basted on there. You know, fussy cut around this, fussy cut around those two, and you've got multiple pieces to do something with. So there's that. This was a strange thing. I'm not even sure what it is, to be honest. Oh, you know what? I think, tell me what you think, those appear to be little squares. It's almost like cut work in a sense, or maybe it's called drawn work. I don't know. Is there such a thing? So this is, each of these is a square of fabric. You can see the threads there. Somebody has then these threads that are sort of making these rays or whatever you want to call them. Well, no, let me say something else. A thread, this thread that goes vertically and horizontally, gathers up these bunches of threads, and then these are probably just decorative that are done after the fact. That is so much work, and it's a big thing, and this is doubled up, so there, it's twice as big as what you're probably not seeing in its entirety anyway. So, okay, let's get an idea for size. 12, so it's, 13 1/2 or so by a little over 9. So 4 of those. I don't know how tricky it would be to cut it, because boy, a person wouldn't want it to unravel. But that's maybe when you have your art glitter, glue, or fray check at the ready, and almost, take a snip and seal. Take a snip, seal. Or put it on a piece of furniture and pretend you intended that all along. Maybe you wanted this as a runner. Okay, I found that my inventory of buttons had dropped below 3 million, so naturally I picked up a couple bags of buttons. I'm not going to open them because we've all seen buttons before. Oh, there's a cute little bow. I will sort them into my cupboard of buttons. Oh, look, a bread tie. Bonus. I have my buttons separated by color and, metallic. So metal buttons, gold in one area, silver in another. And, it's always, I don't know what the appeal is, but it's always fun to look at these things. The crazy button lady. I bought this little bag because, and of course I didn't open it. Number one, it has, I don't know if I have this particular packaging for needles. Always seem to need needles. Oh, that's a long one. These are supposedly embroidery needles. Size 4 to 18, or no, 4 to 8. A wooden spool, which I'll add to my wooden spool collection. There's another needle. Never seen that before. And I was really hoping that this was a cloth. Well, I suppose it's cloth, but it feels like, I guess they've all sort of been, or I shouldn't say that, I don't know. It feels like it's sort of been plasticized or something. So even though the color looks very vintagey, I don't know that this really is. But I should I'll rewrap it probably just around my hand. You know, it's funny, the things a person remembers. As a kid, I remember my dad using his, what would we call that? I guess forearm. So, say from here to the elbow, to wrap cords around, you know, like extension cords. And I find that I do that too. So I don't know. I guess that's almost kind of human nature, that we reach to the measuring device that is at the end of our hand. And of course, there is a whole science to the proportions of the body. So if you were getting into life drawing, and there are obviously all these charts in art books. So however big the head is will determine all the other parts. And a lot of people, if you don't have say a tiny little retractable tape measure in your purse or in your car, you can measure something, and I've done that by, again, tip of the finger to the elbow. So, okay, that particular dresser is 3.5 of those long. And then, of course, you can convert it when you get a chance. This is the weirdest purchase of the day, and she let me open it. These are, well, they're not pantyhose, but they're tights, I guess. Lacy tights with these flowers down I guess on both sides of each leg. Did I need this? In a recent video, I asked you people, when was the last time you wore a pair of pantyhose? And for anyone who replied, I mean, it's been decades, or they can't remember at all. And I'm in that same category. So it seems ironic that at the first opportunity I buy something like a pair of tights. But I just thought it was kind of different. It was a little bit weird. Okay, that is it for the all of that stuff. Now, I'm going to bring this box up a little closer to maybe minimize the mess on my floor. This is how it came. So it's got all this, I don't know, whatever this packing stuff is called. And essentially, try to keep most of that in the box, because goodness knows that would be a mess to clean up. So that is part of my order. The rest of the order is the new Notions book that is in production, or going to be in production. I think the shipping date is sometime in September. And it was a little bit like I'm on the mailing list. And I should say that Uppercase is based in Calgary. I live, you know, an hour and a half away from Edmonton, so same province. And it is, I would say, the go-to magazine for graphic design, and I mean, the layout is beautiful, blah, 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 blah. Now, for Christmas, I was a very good girl, and my peeps bought me the encyclopedia. But of course, the encyclopedia does not contain every single book that, what is her name? Janet, some J name, has printed. Now, the one I would really like to get, which is out of print, well, there are a couple I'd like. The feed sack one is out of print, and I got an email saying, oh, we got a few copies, but did I pounce on it and do anything? No, I didn't. I also was under the mistaken impression that the stuff ships from Calgary, which would be cheaper, obviously, for me. This parcel came very quickly from Toronto, which, you know, is like 3/4 of the way across the country. But because I got in on the, well, it's not really crowdsourcing. It was basically in the pre-order phase of this newest book. You know, the bonus there is free shipping. So I didn't know if they would hold the order until it was all ready and send it all at once, or whether or not it would come by itself. So I got 5 back issues off the magazine. And of course, we're not going to flip through all of them. Let me see. Do I have a favorite here that I'd like to look through first? Okay, so they tend to have a theme. Let's just maybe do the top one first. So, I mean, obviously beautiful and bright, nice spine, something good on the back. Okay, so this is not very old. It's July, August, September 2023. And a tiny little red tag or red label here. It says Become Whimsy. And there's a different one on every magazine. Oh, Janine. So this is what the inside cover looks like. And this is, okay, this is the one I've pre-ordered. And of course that will be beautiful because we love notions, don't we? Okay, so now that I have my sad iron, I never let it out of my sight. Okay, so identification chart of major specimens. Those are like little inchies, aren't they? Just waiting to be cut up. So this is obviously promotional, kind of a page, published independently since 2009. Okay, so they're calling these couple of pages snippets. Creative breakthroughs, shaping your visual voice. Fresh talent. So people have, artists around the world have the chance to be, you know, featured in, like, I guess there's a call for artists for every upcoming issue. So people can submit, I guess, probably a portfolio of their work and, you know, with the hope of being featured. So, for instance, this person is from Paris. This one is from Ohio. I don't know where that one is from. Brooklyn, New York, London, UK, and Grosse Pointe Woods, Michigan. So, I mean, visual candy. Okay, fine print. So here, I guess they're featuring some books, probably a tiny little review of each one, and maybe the idea there is the graphic design that was used for the books. And of course, I'm guessing here because you saw me just open it up. I haven't flipped through it. I don't know. Sewing a whimsical wardrobe. So obviously sewing is part of this. Confident humility, a mindset to grow your business. Art supply. So this is a picture of one of the books in the encyclopedia. I think it's, is it 8 different titles or more? I don't quite remember. I have them in the bedroom on one of the dressers in there. Make it worthwhile. Maybe I should flip through the back. Okay, so this is what the encyclopedia might look like. So I've got ceramics. I've got, I believe I have ephemera. Botanica is sold out if I'm not mistaken. There's feed sacks. I might have art supplies. I don't know exactly which ones I have, to be honest, which I should be putting a note in my phone. With my luck, I would buy a duplicate. So Rag and Pulp, I think I've got that one. That's another title. So Subscriber Studios. So it looks like they featured some photos of people's, of some subscriber studios. Rag and Pulp, so that's another one of the titles. Giant Peanut. Okay, oh, look at that typewriter. What are we doing here? I have one or possibly more of those oil pastels in that exact box. Oh, soft sculptures. This woman is from California. Dimensions of Whimsy. Here we've got obviously some crochet, some quilts, some yo-yos. Is that not gorgeous? Would we not all want that room, that display? Oh, those are all quilts. They're not even fabrics. They're quilts, for heaven's sakes. Wearable art. Yo-yos. That kind of reminds me of the thing I bought at an antique mall and have begun taking apart to offer for sale to those of you who don't have access. Look for inspiration magic everywhere. Here are some of the collected oddities and curiosities for you, and hope that you might enjoy drawing a few of them. So it's packaging, it's ephemera, it's all the things we love. Doily, a guest check. Beautiful. Okay, I'm getting bogged down here. You know, obviously some of this is going to be more appealing to me than to you, or to you than to me. But that is sort of, holy cow. That is, what is this exactly? What does whimsy mean to, okay, so these are gallery pages, and this is, I guess, whimsical. So it looks like it can be almost any medium. So that's paint or doodling. But then over here, those are obviously like little poofs. Those are cookies. Those are ceramics. So whimsy comes in many formats. I didn't know there were postcards with these. So, like many things, if you bundle purchases, you know, you can save a few dollars on the cumulative total. Yeah, they usually have this, from what I can tell, they usually have this sort of a thing in front. So it's an A to Z kind of thing. So A is abacus, Z is zipper, and of course, everything else in between. Okay, let's just have a look through what the other topics were here. So this one is sounds creative. Again, same. Well, it's not exactly the same, but The interesting part about these covers is that they have removable, like a book jacket that is reversible, if that makes sense. Look at those. Look at all those bolts of fabric. Oh, so I guess this subscriber studio is a recurring feature. See, the only other ones of these magazines that I have are ones that I have found, believe it or not, in thrift stores, and they didn't have, you know, any of the cards or anything. And they also probably, well, I don't know, I shouldn't say. Aurora Borealis. They also, I don't know if all the departments of the magazine are the same. Don't panic. That's good advice for all of us. Boy, quite a few postcards in each one. We could save ourselves if we gathered up the try. I've been thinking flowers, maybe daisies to brighten up the room. And again, these are examples of illustrations and or projects. Beauty school dropout. I can't say that word. Can you? Sound, color. So that, whatever that it was, whatever, has been defined as joint or coupled sensations, or the stimulation of one sense producing a sensation in another sense. So the person goes on to say, although I don't perceive colors all the time, when I do, they are always the same. The very specific colors for notes of the musical scale appearing in my mind's eye when I listen to music. So that was where the sound theme came in. And I think I've heard of that concept before, but of course I've never explored it. Don't think I've experienced it, blah, blah, blah. Typically, I don't spend a great deal of time listening to music. Okay, so what are we doing here? These are, well, we love the look of old sheet music, don't we? Ephemeral sounds. So basically, yeah, the very sort of thing that we're interested in is featured here with some of these. Some of the design, because of course all of those covers have been designed. Paper dolls. One thing that was so cute to see, but again, I couldn't really linger because I was with, you know, other people, is at that sidewalk sale, there were so many little miniatures, like the little tiny Tupperware pitchers, you know, miniaturized versions. Little tiny, well, not glass, of course, Pyrex coffee pots. Like so many small little household, love the feathers, so many small little household objects that had been, you know, shrunk down in size to become toys. Okay, so this one says abundant patterns, so this is going to be eye candy. Cool. Living patterns with Catherine Nice. So, of course, some of the people that, you know, are interested in these kinds of publications have earned their living doing this are surface design people. So every time we see a piece of stationery or a set of dishes or fabric or, you know, notebook covers or whatever, someone has put that design together. Wallpaper, tiles, carpet samples, decorative surfaces for joyful spaces. So what is this? Is this fabric? Knit up. There's a strong ink smell coming off these pages. Not really just about plaids. Oh, ask Lila. So maybe she has a recurring column in the paper. Oh, look at those poppies. Beautiful. Okay, so in particular, okay, so this Pasadena person, she creates surface pattern designs to show her love of cats, nature, and spooky themes. She's the creative mind behind Pink Owlet, a brand that sells enamel pins, apparel, stickers, washi tape, and more. This is somebody from Italy. I was just looking for a few more examples of where these designs might end up. You know, they begin in someone's head and end up on products that you and I use in our homes daily. Preparing for success. A surface pattern designer's guide to mastering the art of learning. So, of course, people like this also design paper pads and, you know, the 12 by 12s and 6 by 6s and placemats and you name it. Some of these people have their own companies, I guess. I can only imagine how many knitted blankets. I can only imagine how many steps it takes to get a product from the paper to a physical object. So this woman from Ontario, a licensed artist who collaborates with a wide range of companies. So I guess she can sell her designs, or does sell her designs to, that looks like batik. Grounded in textiles. I honestly, with all the things that I have in my home and the things I continue to find and buy, I can never imagine cutting these up. You know, to me, some things are just off limits. Oh, I promised I would find my old floral design magazines and show them to you. Those are in the same category, although now, you know, 25 years later, maybe I would do it. These are also the designs that end up on the clothing that we wear. Flat, fat stacks. Oh, okay, so this is out of a place out of North Kansas City, Missouri. Flat, fat stacks. Boy, that's not easy. Is a new way of offering fat quarter bundles to quilters. One that is easier for the company to produce and offers sewists, didn't know that was a word, new possibilities as well. So, no idea what that is. Effective art pitches. This book is better than some of the other ones I showed you. And again, you know, without knowing exactly what a person is buying, you kind of take a chance that there will be something. Okay, so these look like hand-carved stamps, and then, of course, the stamping that has been done with them. I've carved my own stamps. That has that European look. Oh, she's from Portugal. No wonder. See, some people would be blown away, made uncomfortable, unlikely to be drawn to a page like this, and yet I love it because if I allow myself the time, I would think, oh, okay. So they've got those padded interlocking squares on the floor to soften the, you know, if you're standing there for a long time. There's a cart like we all have, covered bins, kind of probably vision board kind of stuff back there. Wonder what's in the gallon or in that jug. Oh, there's a fan. Oh, look, an old license plate. And just explore, you know, kind of in a Where's Waldo kind of way. Try to see everything that there is to see. The visual language of e-bond. Don't know what that is either. I'm going to be so darn smart. You guys are going to be amazed when I read this. Okay, so that's bedding. That's vintage bedding. Wamsuda. What other? Okay, I don't know what some of these are. I like that one too. There is no beige allowed in these homes. Okay, I don't know how long I've been here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Exuberant. She's a cover artist. Tiles from around the world and through time. So this is the A to Z thing. So algebra tiles. Whatever that is. Let's do W, Wedgwood. Fine print. Symphonies of surface. Pattern paper. Anyway, much, much, much to explore here. How to stop feeling guilty about not being productive. Well, let's just take a moment to read that. Stop comparing yourself to anyone else. It's guaranteed heartache. Okay, can we have an amen chorus to that? Disconnect your self-worth from any achievements. Self-worth comes from within. It's not something you earn. Life is a process, not a race. Enjoy where you are now. Remember that time is precious. Spend more of it enjoying the simple wonder of being. Focus on what's in front of you, not on what you could or should be doing. So I'm focusing on uppercase, not all the other things I should be doing. Reevaluate what productive means. Taking care of yourself and others is of the greatest value. Okay, how are we? I don't even know how much time has passed. Whoops, 49 minutes. How to let go of self-doubt. Erase imposter syndrome, the belief that I don't deserve or haven't earned my success. Listen to my fear. Excuse me. What great dream am I afraid of pursuing? Because, you know, that is a proven fact that sometimes we're as afraid of success as we are of failure. What am I more afraid of? Never reaching my dream or not even giving myself the chance to try. Take action. Understand that each step forward builds confidence. I might as well just finish reading this. When you feel yourself changing, a curiosity, a longing, wanting more, the self-awareness to see that change is necessary, patience and resolve, making a commitment to be gentle with yourself, taking small incremental steps forward, being deliberate with your heart, allowing others in, remembering that you are never as alone as you may feel, the reliable passage of time. And then finally, how to keep going. Accept life's duality. Find meaning in the difficult and joyful. Keep what's useful, discard the rest. Let go of should. Make peace with change and begin again. That's some wisdom there, baby. Those are all knitted sweaters. I think, I don't know, should I, maybe I'll just do it really quickly. Like, so this one is called Common Ground. So again, Studio Spaces. Oopsie. Oh my goodness, the smell of ink. So these seem to be about painting. But that is stitchery. That seems to be 3 million French knots. Wow. Wow, wow. This must be the featured artist. Yeah, cover artist. Aerial artworks. So this is like a garden from the sky. The first work I make is the last work I make. Seasons change unexpectedly. Oh, so that's from this year, April, May, June. So this would be the most current issue, or maybe second most current. Okay, and this one says made by hand. So this looks like some pieced quilting. Subscriber Studios. I've had a couple more people asking about studio tour. Oh, Antique Lakes, that will be a good one to read. What is the date on this one? It's probably late last year. Yeah, October, November, December 2023. So I obviously am working towards that. Look at all those mugs. Wishbone weavings. I use branches and wishbones as natural looms that I can hold in my hands and weave tapestry into, using embroidery floss as the weft to completely obscure the linen warp. I let intuition guide my weaving process from start to finish. Sometimes I create a distinct pattern or an ombre effect, and often a fusion of both. I love the process and challenges of transforming each humble and seemingly insignificant branch and bone into intricate and unique tapestries. Well, one thing, they look very attractive there in a pile. Imagine how small that is. Very doable, though, isn't it? So this is like the back side of a quilt. Slow art to find your style. Obsess the minutia. You are on the hunt for the good stuff. Healing marks. Now is that? So this person lost a partner and I guess was mourning, grieving. Yeah, this looks like a combination perhaps of, or is it all thread? I can't quite tell. I would have to read that. I don't know if it's thread or if it's ink. Or somehow a combination of both. Making marks. I think I'll enjoy this one as well. Anyway, guys, I realize this has taken a long time. I probably should have broken this into 2 videos. I hope that this has opened your eyes to this publication or this publisher if you haven't heard of it before. And I hope that, you know, maybe you're lucky enough to find an issue off one of these magazines in a thrift store. I know I think, you know, lightning struck twice. I think that happened twice to me. There's definitely a lot of inspiration and, like I said, visual eye candy in each of these issues. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are doing something that makes your heart sing. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.